Hey everybody, and welcome to our top comics to pre-order in a flash. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
And we're here with Infinity Flux Comics. You may notice we are a day early, two days early.
What? It's not Friday?
It's not Friday. It's a Wednesday. New comics came out today, and we're already talking about the comics coming up.
That's right.
So we are actually going to start doing this show on Wednesday to give you an even better lead time in ordering your comics. You can check us out, like you see up here, at infinityflux.net, where you can pre-order these comics we're going to be going over. So we're going to go over some of the top books this week. We'll be going over a lot more on our Friday show, Comics from the Future, if you want to get all the details, all the variant covers, all of that. But did want to warn you, just this is how the comic industry works. Not everything is nailed down until about noon on Friday. So some of these covers won't have the trade dress, but dates tend to, at this point, not shift around too much.
Especially on these bigger books that we talk about.
So everything should be there, but if you want to make sure, watch our Comics from the Future show on Friday to make sure you don't miss out on anything. But let's get into this week because it is going to be a huge week for every company. We are starting off with DC Night Terror's First Blood. This kicks off the big new event from DC, starting with this oversized one-shot called First Blood. In this, the Trinity, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman discover the body of one of their earliest villains in the Hall of Justice. This is going to lead them down a path of investigation that takes them beyond the land of the dead, directly into the hands of a new villain called Insomnia. So if you're going to read the Night Terrors event, this is where it starts with this one-shot. Also, same week, we're ordering Night Terrors #1, so the beginning of the main miniseries. And in this, we are following Boston Brand Deadman and Batman as they attempt to discover who is Insomnia and what has he done by putting the entire world into this nightmare dimension. So don't want to miss out on those, and I'll be talking about another one of the one-shot or one of the miniseries coming up soon.
Next from Marvel is Fallen Friend. This is a one-shot. Of course, we just saw the death of Kamala Khan in Amazing Spider-Man number 26, and this issue is going to sort of commemorate her, honor her. We don't know much about the story yet. We feel like it's going to give us several shorter stories taking place throughout different moments of her career, because there are various writers and artists on this book, one of those being Mark Waid and Humberto Ramos. So we're thinking they might do a story from her time in the Champions, but just commemorating Miss Marvel before we hopefully see her again very soon.
Yes. Next up, we have Gargoyles Dark Ages #1. This is going to be a new miniseries, a premium miniseries. It's going to be our first new Gargoyles book since it launched at Dynamite. This one is going to be really cool. Each issue is going to be 40 pages with a really nice cover stock and everything. And this actually takes place back when Gargoyles and humans lived side by side during the time of wizards and all of that during the Dark Ages. And we are going to see what happened to lead to the events of the main Gargoyles. And this is going to be really cool because part of the book is going to be the comic, and then the other part is going to be original prose with illustrations written by Greg Weisman, the original Gargoyles creator. So I think this is really cool if you are a fan of Gargoyles.
Next is World's Finest Teen Titans. So you guys know World's Finest is a fantastic book. Mark Waid, Dan Moore on art. This book is set around the same time as that. So we still have a young Dick Grayson as Robin here. Along with the original Teen Titans, whom you can all see on the cover here. We've seen a little bit of them in the main World's Finest book, and we wanted more, and I guess DC heard us because they're giving us a whole book. Now, I don't know if this is... do we know if it's a miniseries or ongoing? Mm-hmm. I actually think it's a 6-issue miniseries, but... so yeah, this is still going to feature a young Dick Grayson, still probably teenager, college years, but still when he was Robin, hanging out with the Teen Titans. And if you like World's Finest, you definitely want to get this one.
Yes, get it, support it, so then they'll turn it into an ongoing.
Yes,
because that's what we want.
Absolutely.
Okay, next up is DC Night Terror's Batman #1. So this is here basically to represent a lot of 2-issue miniseries going to be launching with Night Terrors. There is a bunch coming out this week, so watch Comics from the Future to see all of them. But with this one, Batman is stalked by the symbol that he created in this nightmare realm. So I'm guessing some form of bat monster or something.
Like there's a bat with a gun underneath.
Yeah, kind of like his worst nightmare, which is a little bit of himself.
Yeah.
And when he goes bad, that kind of thing. So I'm really excited about this. I love that the miniseries are only 2 issues, very digestible. On the hook for a long time, and they all seem to be really, really cool with really cool like hooks to them.
Yeah.
So
great covers too.
Great
you'll
covers.
See some more of those on Friday.
Yeah. So definitely check out our Comics for the Future to see more of them. But this is the Batman Night Terrors #1.
Web of Carnage #1. This one sounds really cool. So we have Cletus Cassidy and all of the havoc that he's causing over in the Carnage Reign storyline. This one is actually going to focus on the Carnage symbiote because it's not attached to Cletus Cassidy anymore. It's kind of floating through space, just sort of minding its own business, but it has its sights set on the throne of the King in Black. And the first hurdle that it has to jump in order to get to that throne is Morlun, who we last saw in the end of the Spider-Verse series that's in the Dan Slott Spider-Man run. We've seen him in several of the other Spider-Verse events. So the Carnage symbiote versus Morlun should be a pretty interesting matchup.
And we have Untold Tales of I Hate Fairyland, #1 of 5. So this is going to be a new mini-series expanding the world of I Hate Fairyland. We're going to follow Gert again, but on some more specific adventures, but still written by Scotty Young, but with various artists, like artists that worked on the Simpsons comics, which I think is going to be really interesting. Artists that worked on the Invader Zim comic. We're just going to get a whole new styling for this, and I'm very excited to see more in this universe and what other crazy characters they can introduce.
So next is a Joker manga, and I think the title is Joker 1 Operation Joker, I think.
Yeah.
So this is cool. So this is one of 3 different manga series that DC is releasing, and I think they all come out at the same time.
Yeah.
So this one features the Joker, and the story of this is great. Somehow Batman becomes de-aged into a baby, and you see him right there on the cover, and Joker decides to raise him in his image. So Joker's going to be a dad to Batman. That sounds bonkers. I have no idea what's going to happen, but that sounds really, really fun.
Next up, we have X-Men Days of Future Past Doomsday. This is going to be a 4-issue miniseries, much like a lot of the Marvel miniseries they've been doing, set in specific kind of big time frames within their history. This one is a prequel to Days of Future Past, where we find out what cataclysm led to, a Sentinel being on every street corner, and what will Kitty Pryde, Wolverine, Storm, Colossus, Banshee, Angel, Cyclops do to survive. And we know a lot of them do not survive. That's right. So I think this is really cool to see a little bit of backstory on this very famous and iconic story.
And next from Boom Studios is a new one called Sirens of the City. This is actually set in New York in the 1980s and follows a teenage girl named Layla who is being, stalked by every supernatural creature in the city because they are after her and her unborn baby. We don't know why yet, but it sounds like another really great supernatural book from Boom Studios, which is what they do best.
Yes. And that is it for our top comics to pre-order in a flash. Like we said, we're going to be doing this video now on Wednesdays to give you an even bigger head start on ordering your new comics. Check out our video, Comics from the Future, that comes out on Friday that will, if there's any changes to these books, we'll let you know. Plus, you'll see all the variant covers and all the other books that we're excited to bring to you. Definitely check us out at infinityflux.net, where you can pre-order these books right now. And until next time,
see you.
See ya.